Hi guys, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, good day everybody. My name is Albert Tan from Download Silo and welcome to this today Facebook live session where we are hosting the co-founders of this Converdy and they are Tim and also Chris. So Tim and Chris, how are you guys?
We're very good.
Great.
Thank you for having us.
Okay, so since you can hear me and also we can hear you, so we will start right now. But before we start, let me do some housekeeping, which actually we want the audience to show their name as well as a photo while they are commenting. So let me do my work here. Okay, guys, you know what to do. I will just project this up. So kindly give permission to show your profile photo and also your name while commenting by clicking the link wave.video/live/Facebook. So you have done that. Thank you. If you have not done that, please do that now so that we can see your name as well as see your photo. And we know exactly who is actually commenting in our backend. And also it is important that this will actually enter you into the giveaway prizes. If we can't see your name, then we do not know who you are, and then we can't enter you in the giveaway. Okay, guys, let me check who are online, and we have the right hand side here. Tim and Chris, you can actually click the right live chat and see who are online.
Yeah,
Okay,
I
we
see
have
a lot of hellos, and
Chaitanya.
I see one person without a name.
One person without a, so don't worry, there are many to come, so don't worry, let them do the clicking of the link. So okay guys, I will actually start now officially, and welcome everybody, and especially our co-founders from Converdy team, Chris as well as Tim. So before we actually start, let me ask these two gentlemen some simple question which they actually will know the answer. Okay, may I know when is actually Converdy been started up, in the past few years? Which year have you been doing this for quite some time?
Yeah,
Tim?
actually, I think I don't have an answer for the exact date, but we kicked off with Converdy back in 2019, and we did that with our initial LTD launch, which was quite successful. It sold out.
Okay, so 2019. Yeah, I remember, that was actually quite some years back, about 3 years back. So actually, where are you guys from? And then
Yeah, we're a Dutch team. We're both located in the Netherlands, and we have some developers we've had over time, mostly remote and some on location as well.
how many guys do you have at the developer right now, at the present moment?
Yeah, so we scaled up. I would say maybe a little bit too fast at a certain stage, and then we scaled down back again. Right now we're with 3 developers.
How many? 3, right?
3, yeah, that's correct.
Okay. So can you tell us a little bit about the background, from 2019 until now? Because at one time I was told that you have about 7 people. So right now you are scaling it down. So just let us know what actually happened and how are you going to move forward, on this one.
Yeah, I would even say at some point it was actually 8 people, including interns, and that was basically in the following, like it was basically in the year after our initial LTD launch. We obviously had to scale up to do all the things that came into the picture, like customer support and to actually work on our roadmap. Yeah, we did that for about a year with that team, and then we started raising funds. So we got venture capital on board as well, and that's going into 2020. And from that point on, to be quite honest, we had some issues in the company. We've had a clash. We had some, issues with in what direction Converdy was supposed to be going with one of the other partners back then. His name was Johan, and this issue has been quite difficult for the company, but also for us personally to handle. It took a lot of energy, and it took a lot of momentum out of the momentum that was actually great initially with Converdy. At the end of 2021, last year, we finally came to the point where we were able to say, hey, we're gonna part ways, and we managed to buy him out of the company. And obviously, it's been tough on the company and also on the financial position, and it caused us to, unfortunately, we had to let go some people. Some people we actually wanted to let go because the way Chris and I would run a company is quite different from the way we were actually running the company back then. So we actually like a company to be a little bit more bootstrapped. We think it's valuable to have a small team with people that are very good at what they do. And I think it's faster to work that way instead of, hey, we need this graphic, you go do it. And then this graphic has to be integrated into a feature in the product. But before we can do it, we have to wireframe it. And for this wireframe, we have this other person. And it can work, but it's quite, if you want to develop quickly, some features.
In the end, it's a scalable thing, but if you want to move fast, we noticed we are usually faster when we're with a small team, right?
But that's just the way Chris and I work best. So we managed to get back to that small team we have now. We managed to get back to productivity at the start of 2022. And that's really when we started to turn things around up until now.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so I heard you, and actually I know that, because, but then the audience might not know. So thank you for your frank, explanation on the background, which bring you actually here. So, we are not going to talk about the history now. So we are going to move forward. So could you please tell us, what you have this round of time, we have LTD right now, and what are you offering to us? How good is the platform at the moment? Okay.
Yeah. That's a great question. So in terms of I think Tim did a great job of explaining what happened. And I don't want to stay too long in the past, but just to add on to that for a little bit. Basically, we had a certain roadmap, and some items of that we definitely executed, and a lot has been built, and some items we missed. So we definitely have some users who are kind of disappointed with the progress, while other users are signing in literally 20 times a day to build more funnels and have over 100 sites in their account, and we can see they're doing great business on the platform. So that's pretty fantastic to see, but it really depends on what you're searching for, right? If it's the platform for you, and also with what's coming, it's up to the watcher here to decide whether that's for him or for her, right? It's definitely not for everyone. We're not trying to promise everything here, and trying to give a realistic expectation of what we've built so far, which I think is pretty cool, actually. And I think the best way to go over that is maybe to scroll over the sales page for a bit, which you hopefully have seen, and then I can give you a demo of the actual product. Let me share my screen.
Okay, so the screen is shared, and yes.
So the main promise of Converdy is to build very fast sales funnels and landing pages which are optimized. And instead of adding all kinds of plugins which you usually add, we've built all the conversion optimized things inside Converdy. So things I'm talking about then is things like, we can go to the plugins here, like countdowns, sales pops. For example, the button glare you see on the button here, which might not be visible on the video, so I would highly recommend to check out the page yourself. Low stock indicators, but also sales pops, which you see very often implemented. Basically, everything we notice which people are putting on lead generation pages is what we try to build right into the product directly. And on top of that, we're executing. We're obsessed with speed and performance. So instead of tying all plugins together, we make a very optimized version of the website. We compress everything. We automatically compress the images, and basically do everything to tick off the boxes for a very fast landing page, right? On top of that, we have some features like A/B testing and dynamic text replacement. So for example, here you could easily set up Google Ads for different cities, and where you would replace the city name in a headline or in like content in the page with the city name you're running the ad for. So instead of creating 3,000 landing pages for every city in your country, you simply create one, and you pass the parameter through the URL in Google AdWords, for example. Also in combination with chatbots, you can do really cool stuff with this. So that's pretty powerful. We have stuff like multi-step forms, so where you usually would have like a separate plugin, maybe in like a WordPress setup, which would add another version of jQuery and would add another bundle of CSS, which just the styling just looks off because it's not like native to the product you've built your site in. So we try to build in all those features which are usually where usually plugins are installed for. And one of the features we recently released is basically collaboration, or I think it's in beta now. I'm not 100% sure about that. I think it's in beta now. But we noticed that a lot of people who are heavily, intensely using the current product are usually people who work together as well, who run a small agency, mostly lead gen agencies at the moment. So for example, people who run ads for dentists or for chiropractors, or I mean, it's very diverse, but I just name a few here. I'm not going to scroll too long through the sales page. I mean, if you want to see that page, please go to the URL, which is converdy.com/LTD. I will get to the plans later, and we will get to the roadmap later as well. But just to give you already a sneak peek, this is one of the things we initially tried to build as well, and we had some road bumps there in combination with things that Tim just described. It took a lot longer than we wanted to take. But the cool part is it's almost there, and I can definitely give a demo about that as well in a second. So where Converdy right now is a very powerful page builder, which basically produces the fastest sites in the world, and we can back that if you want to make a comparison. In the future, you definitely have the options to add downsells, upsells, and set up different type of payment systems inside the platform as well. So I think it would be a good timing basically to get the product, because obviously this highly increases the things you can do with it and the use cases it's suitable for. So that being said, I will take a quick break if I forget anything, and then I would like to show you guys some of the admin and the actual product. Albert, Tim, did I forget anything here, or can I continue?
No, I think you gave a good overview of what Converdy is today, and we can talk later about what we will add towards the end of this year and going into 2023. Awesome.
Yeah, so I just moved the live call to the other screen. I see a lot of questions coming in. I'm not going to answer them right now, but we'll definitely have time to answer questions after this presentation. So basically, I will start with showing you a general overview of the product, which is right here. I'll make this full screen. There we are. It's a little better. This is one of the plugins you see active, so it's the attention grabber plugin of the product, which I will close right now. We have a few concepts which I want to go over first, which is basically you can create workspaces, and in the workspaces you can create different projects. Right now I have one project here, and I could create a new one which we call demo for now. And each project is basically its own environment, its own silo, you could say, with its own analytics, its own live charge, its own sites, orders, products, payment gateways, whatever you want to set up. If you guys want to see the e-commerce functionality, you can show that later, where we have some products set up. For now, I will start with creating a site. Usually, so the philosophy we try to follow is you start big and then you make customizations, and at the end we do want to provide a granular control of all the details on a page, but the biggest thing, obviously, where you can start with picking a template. And we have quite some of them, and we're definitely going to add more templates. I think for now it would be nice to maybe go with this one. All right. So basically, the way the editor works is, I would say, in a way, pretty straightforward. I will start with some design settings. So when you pick a template, we automatically set the global styling for that particular template. And instead, what you can do, you do have the granular control of editing every component. So I could click this video, for example, and I could go to styling, and I could change the background color here to whatever color I want it to be. Which obviously is powerful and nice. But what I also can do is, and what's preferable to do, is start with basically editing your theme, styling, and then you are going to add the things which are not necessarily the way you want them to be. And we actually have one step further than that, which I will show after this. So what I will do first, I will go to design, and I will unplug my additional screen because my computer is overheating here. Because of the video streaming, probably. Yes, hopefully that's going to be a bit better. Can you guys still see my screen?
Yes.
Perfect. All right. So I will go to colors. And again, here we have the same philosophy. You can actually pick a swatch. You can change the color with like one click, which will change everything on the click of a button, as you can see, and that goes for the entire site. But apart from applying a swatch like this, you can also have the more granular control on a theme level, where you basically say, okay, this swatch set has a primary color which is orange, but I think it's a little bit off, so I will make it a little bit darker, and maybe the secondary color should be a little bit darker as well. So that's basically on a theme level, and obviously I will not go over every setting, but there are plenty of settings here for typography. One of the things that's often asked is like mobile typography. So basically on theme level, you would usually first change your styling on desktop, for example. Then you can switch to a smaller device. You make it a little bit smaller. So it's a cascading system, as with a lot of systems is the case. And then on mobile, you could make it a little bit smaller. So I think that's too small. And if you make a mistake here, you think it's too small, you can reset it to its default value by clicking the blue dot. And as you can see, now we have a beautiful responsive heading here, which again goes for the entire theme, right? So this is, if I would change this to, I think this is the large heading, then we would have the same styling applied. I think that's it for now for the global design settings. There are plenty of more settings left there, theme shapes, typography, fonts, of course, but just to keep the flow here, I will continue to the next part. We have settings here, global settings, where you can basically set up your dynamic keywords. You can add your scripts, your tracking scripts, set up redirects, all kinds of stuff. Next thing I want to show you is how you actually edit the content on a page. So adding content is simple. You start by adding a section usually. And we've got, I hope this is visible, but we've got quite some of them, and then we're definitely working on adding more. So this is pretty nice. And as you can see, the heading is quite big now because I changed way too large from the default of this theme. So reset that. It's way better. And let's reset that on mobile as well, because we overrode that. Yeah, that's good. All right, so that's it in terms of the global styling. Now, when I insert a section, I obviously have control over the items in the section as well. So one of the things you can do, for example, is when you have a button, you have all the actions you can set here. So you can open a pop-up, scroll to an element, open a YouTube lightbox, whatever. But styling-wise, to finish the styling section here, you basically, what we try to do is we have general options and we have styling. Styling is should provide an easy-to-use interface over the most common things you want to change. So, for example, maybe you want to make it a large button and you want to change the background color, or you want to maybe add some shine element to it, or some rocking, or whatever you wanna do. But maybe if you want a more granular control, you can also go to custom, and this is what we think is very powerful. This is basically where you have selectors of the elements. So this is actually the entire HTML spec here. So I could, for example, select the button. I could go to background, and I could add, well, let's add a layer here and make something fancy. So I could very easily create a gradient button here just by going to the advanced tab. And obviously this is all up to your imagination. We're not trying to be a Webflow competitor or anything. I don't think if you want, like, if your goal is like fully customized custom sites, then I don't think Converdy is the option. However, after you have like the pre-made stuff, we definitely provide a very granular control on like CSS spec level in a visual interface like this, where you can basically change everything to your likings. Now, if I tend to like this button, and I think there are a few things that I have to change for me to like it because I don't like rocking. Yes, there we are. Then I can save this button as well. So I could say fancy button. That's exactly what it is. And if I now want to add it again somewhere else on the page, for example, I can add it here as well. And these are basically presets, but I can switch to my own library, and I have no idea what's in here. But there should be the fancy button as well. And this is an easy way to quickly reuse customized stuff. I think one of the things we are trying to do is adding unique elements to the page as well. For example, elements like this, what you see here. Another one would be a rating component, which is instantly built in like this. And we try to make it like CRO optimized, right? So this has the styling, for example, of Trustpilot, as you might recognize. Or we have like the exact Amazon hearts. Not sure where they are, right there. Yep. It's interesting. I'm going to look into this. What is happening here? Oh, the hearts are working. I will write this down, fix this right after the call. Yeah, that's basically it for the editor, I guess. Apart from that, it's more or less everything you could expect. So you can easily change text colors. When you have inline typing, heading, you have stuff like underlines, so you could mark words. For example, this one is one I particularly like myself. This one. There you are. Yeah, what else is there to show? Yeah, one of the things which I think is pretty cool in terms of responsiveness, what we added is if we go to grids here, and we did that for everything. Actually, for testimonials, this might be nice to show. So one of the things we have, which I think is worth mentioning here, is a lot of everything which is in a repeatable grid has the option to become a slider on mobile. So let me demonstrate what I mean with that. So I will duplicate this item a few times. And this is very flexible because right now I can say, okay, I want to have 4 columns maybe. Obviously that doesn't work, so I'll make it 2. Maybe a little bit more of a grid gap. And now when we go to tablet view, we might want to make it a single column. Single column will be fine, but maybe we want to turn it into a slider. So what you can do is you can check the swipeable box, and then from there, it's going to be a slider. And I can't slide it here because I'm in the editor. But on desktop, it still is like this grid. And this is actually made for every repeatable component. So we have this for images, but we also have it for every different testimonial type. But we have a few of them. And I think that's a very, we also have it for this logo grid, for example, right? So maybe you want to have it, you want to keep it like this. But maybe you say like, okay, this is cool, but on mobile, I just want to make sure that it's like this, for example. I wouldn't do this, but I hope you get the idea. And if I preview this, then you see we actually have, let me switch my screen here to a mobile preview. Make it a little bit bigger. Not sure why this is not getting larger. Okay, there we are. And as you can see, this is where are my sliders? There they are. Yeah, this is, I mean, you should definitely experience this on converdy.com yourself, but this is one of the smoothest sliders there are in terms of like mobile experience. I think that's kind of like a walkthrough of the editor itself. Oh, well, there we have an exit pop-up, and obviously I want to take the offer. I got tricked by that myself. So I will show you actually how to set this up, the exit pop-up. Might be nice to give a little bit of an idea of the system here. So this is where you can add pop-ups. And basically this is like the page editor itself, right? So you can drag and drop stuff, you can add additional stuff. If you don't want to go through dragging, you can use the up and down arrows. And the way you set it as an exit pop-up is actually by going through the page settings. Hello? We'll save this. I'll make sure to refresh this. And obviously, this is always when you demo something that something goes wrong. I would say this literally never happened to me, which actually is true. Anywho, when we go to the page settings, you can select one of the pop-ups as your exit pop-up. And then when someone tries to like leave the page, it will trigger. And from there, you can connect multiple pop-ups. So for example, if I take this button, what I can do is I can define the action, which I would want to do. I want to open like a different pop-up. And here I select the pop-up I want to open, which is the opt-in pop-up, which is this one. And this might be nice to show. This contains a form. This is the multi-step form. It's for a quick overview here. So basically you can add fields. You can add contact fields of custom fields. Pardon. I will add a last name here, for example, and this form has been set up in a way where you don't see the labels. So they removed the field label and they put that as placeholder in this specific design. And you can also have pre-filled values in here. And what also works is dynamic keyword replacement. So what you could do is you could do city in here, and then that would pre-fill the city value basically if that has been passed as a URL query parameter. One of the nice things to show you, I think, is the multi-step part of it. So basically you can add a field or you can add a step. And I will drag the email down. Oh, there we are. And right now we have 2 steps. And basically I would probably want to change this to next, or maybe to submit if I want to trick someone more or less into getting to the next step. And here we want to make this maybe submit. Oh, this is the first one I'm doing right here. Yes, we'll have that next. We want to have this. That's better. And then from here, we can basically set up a few options. What we want to do, we want to open a page. In this case, we want to set up a thank you page. You can set forward email addresses, comma separated if you want to have multiple. Or we can set up one of the automations, which you do through this screen. You first connect one of your services, and then you set them up. I'm actually not going to do this right now because I have no demo accounts set up for this demo. But this is pretty straightforward. You just map the fields in a Zapier way, Zapier style, basically. It's not like a full automation server, so you don't have like stuff which you can do, for example, in Pabbly, but you can definitely map fields from the form to the automation, and that's basically from there you usually can start different automations in, for example, ActiveCampaign. If your integration is not listed here, we also provide support for webhooks, which you can enter here. And I mean, if your goal is to build complex automations and stuff, I would definitely recommend you to learn how to use webhooks, because actually it's very simple. You just enter the URL and you send it to something like Pabbly or Zapier or one of the other 3 trillion automation platforms which there are. And from there, you just get the response from the form as a JSON, which you can process very easily there. Yeah, then one of the cool things, of course, which I wanted to show you is, for example, for affiliates, this would be a very nice page. So we'll just add that one just to show you something completely else here. And yeah, what is the cool part about this? One of the cool parts about it is obviously the speed. So when I publish this, I can pick one of the domains. Right now, this is the default domain. I can edit that, or I can add a custom domain, which I will show you later in the admin. But I think one of the cool things to show you is how like a site like this performs out of the box, and that's it's pretty fast. So when we enter this here in PageSpeed, we should get quite a luckily for us, the fact that it's taking its time has no impact on the actual score here. Yeah, there you go. So this is 97 out of the box. That's a little bit slower than I would have expected. So there might be something on the page that's off, but it's still an incredible score as you can see. And the thing is, the way we built this, and that's the thing that makes it unique, it doesn't like decrease with page size. I mean, it does when it gets like huge, but for example, if you take the Converdy page itself, because I mean, there are definitely tools out there which actually put up straight right now. There are definitely tools out there which are fast, right? I mean, which build fast pages. But usually when you start to adding more content, it's getting slower and slower and slower after like a few sections even. But for example, the Converdy page, here we are, as you can see. And this is including tracking scripts, and it's basically everything, videos, everything you see on the page. And it's still... scores 98, and this is including tracking skips. And I'm actually surprised by this. This should definitely be a little bit higher, but page speed is something that is varying on whether time of the day and stuff. But this is actually the lowest I've seen this page. Let's try GTD.
Yeah, it's interesting because if you run it again, it will definitely have a different score. It seems to be fluctuating a little bit, which is interesting because the site obviously doesn't change.
Yeah, I mean, it might have to do with the different edge networks that it hasn't been. So basically, we have a network of edge networks, and it gets cached all over the world. It does have to have one request at least, like in a few hours before it gets cached from that cache again. So this might actually be like a cache miss. So it would be interesting to do it again. Definitely.
Yeah. Question is, from what region in the world does page speed do the check?
I mean, this is Vancouver, Canada. It's like a full 100. So that's pretty cool. I mean, this is not a small page, right? We're looking here at a page with a lot of videos, a lot of images, a lot of tracking pixels, Facebook, 2 Facebook pixels. This is not a lightweight page, I would say.
Yeah.
So that's I think that's pretty cool. To score 100 here. And you can see, yeah, okay, so it wasn't on this side of the world apparently. So if every like visitor now just keeps visiting it from this side of the world, then we would be good. And obviously there's a time when cache expires and needs to catch up again. Well, I think that pretty much sums it up for the editor right here. I mean, there's so much stuff in here which I could go over to, which is nice to show you, but I think it would be good to maybe show you some of the upcoming features as well. And I will read through the questions for a little bit now to see what else. I mean, just write in the questions what you want me to show you, and then I will get to that. I have had no feedback from what has been going on while giving this demo, so I will turn off my screen share and catch up for a bit, maybe answer some questions, and then we can show some of the stuff which is coming up.
Okay, let me do this. I will project some of the question up. Before I do that, I have some few questions to ask. Okay, because there are so many page builder or maybe landing page builder in the market. That was distributed by maybe AppSumo or maybe some private launchers or maybe PageGround or whatever. So I think Swap Pages has got many review and a good recommendation, and like Elite Pages, which is actually quite old, but then they have a lot of customers. And ClickFunnels is I would think they are big brothers, have a lot of users and so on. And I would like to know what is actually Converdy trying to achieve. You want to become a page builder, best page builder, or you want to become a landing page builder or a funnel builder? Because those are different things, but achieved by the same software. Can you tell me that?
Yeah. Well, I think we have to look at it realistically, what we can achieve with the team we have at the moment and what we can deliver in terms of a actual product that is doing what it's doing best. And initially, when we started off, we definitely wanted to be a ClickFunnels competitor, and we wanted to tick off all the boxes. But what you quickly realize is that you start building multiple products, actually products that exist separately on the market, like webinar software, membership areas, funnel builder, analytics engine. You start to build all these products into one platform, and that's actually quite an immense task to nail as a small company. But we set off to do it anyway, and we actually got quite far. Hence, we can now say we have a checkout with upsells, downsells, split payments, subscription payments, and all that in beta, and we're about to release it this year. And the same goes for our affiliate system, which also has been a long coming push, but will also be adding to that greater vision of being a fully integrated platform. And if you want to use Converdy today, and I would recommend you use it for just building very, very fast conversion optimized landing pages. But if you believe in our vision and if you believe in us, then I would go for Converdy, and I would go for the greater vision, which is definitely adding these features like a checkout and affiliate system.
Yeah, and one of the things we want to stress there, it has to be in sequence. This is also one of the reasons while we have like the affiliate system and the checkout, it has been built for like 90%, and it might be nice to show you that right now as well. But the thing is, one of the mistakes we made was we for example, one of the things our users appear to appreciate a lot is more templates, which is from like a technical perspective extremely easy to add. And we never took enough time, I would say, to add enough templates. So we started adding more templates in the last months, which was really appreciated, while technically it wasn't far from the biggest challenge, right? So we realized there, like, hey, we should have done this so many months before instead of focusing on the checkout, because this is a quick win and everyone is very happy with this. And we try to not make that mistake again. So we definitely have a few things left in the product itself, which is, I would say, from a technical perspective, very low-hanging fruit, but from a usability perspective, it might be huge. One of them as well is adding more templates and blocks, because we just noticed in the end, people want the granular control, but they also just want to be, the reason they want the granular control is because the other options weren't good enough to start with, in a way. So we think there's still a lot to win there, and while developing that simultaneously with the checkout, that should come together nicely in a very rounded product. So the vision definitely is bigger than being a page builder, but it will have to go in steps, which makes sense, I think. So I think it might be nice to show you some of the e-commerce stuff.
I think that's a great idea, Chris, but I would like to add something before you do that, and I would like to add something to what we have as a vision for the page builder, which I think is fairly unique and something we actually are very excited about to use ourselves. And that's basically that we are really double downing on building a system that comes with a lot of elements. And people tend to focus on templates and sections, which is very understandable. It makes you build things quickly. But if you look at what makes your site stand out, it's never really in the template structure. It's always in what type of element are you using on a page. So by elements, I mean a button can be an element, an image can be an element, but you can also think bigger and think about, can we deliver something to our users that really helps them convert better on our system than on other systems? And this is when things like adding the feature to have this attention-grabbing glare on a button or the shake on a button, but not just that, also adding tons of variations when it comes to reviews, testimonials, rating components, countdown timers, and all those endorsement groups is something we added recently, which basically allows you to add like a few images next to each other and a piece of text that say like, hey, this many users have endorsed this product. We use it on our own landing page as well. Those are things that will definitely continue to grow in Converdy, and it makes it very easy to create unique sites with elements on there that actually help you convert. more customers.
Okay, thank you, Tim and Chris, for your explanation. I would like to offer my opinion. Okay, remember these lead pages? They has been around for many years. I was one of the early, adopters of this piece of software. I think their secret in the beginning is actually they produce a lot of templates, useful template, which means you just use it, plug and play, which means you have a project or you got a landing page, you got a funnel, you can find it somehow in the backend. So that is their secret. You are not wrong. So, but I hope that you also can give a lot of templates so that people, when we buy something, they can use it immediately. That is the best because you can actually make more money out of it, right from the pocket.
Absolutely.
You understand?
Yeah, and we noticed ourselves as well. But the good thing is in a way, from like a technical perspective, it's low hanging fruit, and it's definitely something we want to expand on more. And we recently only realized how big of a bag of fruit it basically is, which is hanging there. So that's definitely going to be added more. I mean, we started adding some in the last months as well, and we have plenty more in the pipeline. Would it be a good idea to show some of the upcoming e-commerce stuff? Would that be nice?
Yeah.
I read a few of the questions here as well in the meantime, and yeah, you can create we do more of the questions later, but you can definitely create multi-site pages. You do have the option for a menu and stuff, which you can turn on and off based on the page. So is my screen visible again?
But I think, we still have some questions here.
Yeah, shall we go over the questions at the end and first do a small demo here of the, I think this might be a good idea. Okay, so let's go over the beta labels. We start with the settings, which are the store settings. And actually the users here, the collaboration was in beta as I thought it was. I wasn't sure if we released that this week as well, but it is. So this is where you set your general settings. And if you want to have a more in-depth view, I made a video which is on the landing page as well. I will do a brief version here of it. You can connect your accounts. I've connected Stripe account now. You can connect multiple Stripe accounts if you wish to. Product screen, pretty straightforward. Basically, is where you add your product. When you create a product, you can create pricing options, right? So you can add a pricing option, for example, subscription, Discord, whatever. And we were going to make this a subscription. We're going to say the recurrent price is going to be 20 euros, and today's price is going to be €1. And you will have a 7-day trial, right? So 7-day paid trial for €1 and then 20 euros per month until canceled. And this is very flexible because you can basically set the billing frequency to whatever suits you. So we can make it annually or, I think this is pretty straightforward. You can also go for split pay, which is basically a subscription which ends after a certain number of payments, right? So it's like paying in installments in a way. And for each product, you can add different pricing options as well. The way you connect upsells and downsells together is not very visual at the moment, but it is very powerful, and I will show you that right now. So we do have this landing page here, and we have this checkout set up. So basically, because this is the page builder, it's very flexible, right? I mean, you can drag and drop this around to, you can add here whatever you want to, maybe add a progress bar, some countdown timers, whatever. One of the components on here is the checkout form. And this is basically where you select the product you just created in the admin. So in this case, the YouTube automation course, which I set up for this, for the demo on the sales page, to be honest, but we can use the same pages here. So the idea is from here, you go to settings and you have redirects. And this is basically what you want to do on success. And what we want to do is we want to redirect to the page upsell. So as again, we're thinking about ways to make this more visual. But from like a perspective of what you can do, it's very powerful because you can chain unlimited upsells and downsells after the first sale, basically. So The upsell page is just another page which is made here. And I mean, I can duplicate this and then I will have a different upsell as well. And the way you add the upsell is basically by the upsell component, which is added to this page. And here I can select one of the products and I can select the pricing variation, which I created. So that's pretty straightforward. And I can set a confirm action or I can set a decline action. So if I decline it, I could, for example, link them to another page. And I mean, this setup has been set up, so I will link it to a downsell page, for example, but I could also link it to another downsell page or another upsell page or whatever I want to link it to. Or maybe I say like, okay, let's just jump to the order confirmation page if you are not willing to take the downsell. So I think that's pretty powerful. So for just to show the example here, let's say you want to add one more, you would duplicate this. It would be here now. We would rename this just to don't lose sanity to downsell 2. From here, we would take the downsell page. We would take the, well, it's called an upsell component because there's no like physical difference between the upsell and the downsell. It's just, do you want this item, yes or no? Yes, go to this page. No, we go to this page. And if we offer a different item there with an upsell component, then you can take it or leave it, basically. So what I could do here is if they confirm it, we will go to the order confirmation page, which is what we want. And if you decline it, we, in this case, want to go to downsell number 2, right? And this is basically all there is to it. So if I now decline this offer, I will get to downsell number 2. And let's make sure, maybe you want private access to number 2. Set. And yeah, that's basically all there is to it. And from here, when we publish this, well, I've showed you the publishing. I don't think I have a way to hide my my payment details here on screen, so I'm not sure if that's going to work. Yeah, if you want to see a demo of this, make sure to check the video because I don't want to enter my credit card details here. I guess I could do cash on delivery. That should work. So as you can see, my email, by the way, has already been pre-filled here because we used the contact field in the lead form, which I just had in the pop-up, basically. You can also pre-fill stuff by using dynamic keyword insertion again. So, right, we could add something like crits or name would be equals crits, and then you could use that in the forms as well. Basically, if I now confirm the order here, I put cash on delivery here, so I have no actual checkout to make. If you want to see a live demo again, make sure to check the video on the sales page, which is the same funnel, but there I'm doing an actual payment. From here, we said, let me make sure I actually go through my right funnel. So we had the upsell, then we had the downsell. So I want to make sure, no, I rather continue without coaching. This is the first downsell we created, right? It's downsell 1 basically. And just to make sure I'm not making any mistakes here, we set this up to go to downsell 2 if we decline it. So if I decline this, there you go, 1, 2, boom. Should go to, maybe you want to go to access to downsell 2, which is the downsell we just added instead. And this one I will actually add to my order. And this might take a second, and there we are. And if we now go back to the admin, you obviously see the order coming in, which is right here, 2 orders, one for the main product, which was a YouTube automation course. It's a subscription which has been started. And we have an order for the upsell, which was a one-time fee. And this is also where you manage things like subscriptions. This one is stated it's September 1st, so it's this one. And as you can see, there has been 1 charge. You can see when the next charge is, which will be a month from now because it was a monthly subscription. This is also where you can cancel it. When you click the transaction, you can manage the actual transaction. So you can create a refund where you have the option for a full refund or a partial refund. Yeah, I will not go in all the details. I think I went into plenty of details here already. If you want to see more, there's another video on the sales page, basically. One of the things which you can also see is where is it? That's on the order, should be on the order, is the affiliate, which is not available here because we haven't set up any affiliate commissions. This is one of the other things we're working on, and that's basically what you can do here. If you're interested in that, just to make sure that we're not gonna make this presentation for hours and hours, then there's also a similar video on the sales page as well, and I would definitely recommend to check that out if that's of interest for you.
Okay, so thanks, Chris. Let's go through some of the question, So
Yeah. Yes,
okay, Tony was asking whether there is a blogging features.
We don't have it at the moment, but it's something we actually really missed ourselves the other day, and we thought it would make sense to add to the platform. But just because we're still talking about it, we haven't added to the roadmap. But it's definitely on our mind, and we are quite excited about building something like a blogging feature. Yeah.
Okay. Thank you.
Yeah, we definitely delay JavaScript, but that's just one of the many things we do to optimize page speed. I mean, we can go into the list, but we do probably over 50 optimizations on various things, from images to the way we compress HTML to the way we load JavaScript and CSS, and yeah, there's a whole science to it almost. But yeah, we everything we know and we get to learn about, we implement. Yeah, and regarding the CDN, we are built. Our backend is built on top of Vercel, which is a multi-cloud provider. So they basically have this edge network of CDNs built on top of Google Cloud, AWS, and Azure. And it's lightning fast, and we're on a very nice. We have a collaboration with them. We're on their we're on their most premium CDNs.
Okay, this question is about long-form sales pages.
Oh yeah, long-form sales pages.
Yeah, actually, we were working on a few templates of that. Might be able to show them later. I'm not in there right. Yeah, I have to switch accounts then. It's fine. Let me see. Yeah, they haven't been published yet, so I would have to switch accounts, which I'm not going to do during this demo. That's not convenient. But yeah, we do have some examples of long-form sales pages, some templates which are coming up for that. Yeah.
Okay.
I can link them later in the comments, one of them, to give an example to start with.
Yeah, so regarding the first question, I think we talked about templates a little bit earlier in this call, and we all acknowledge that it's easy for us to add, but we haven't really been onto it because we focused on features as excited developers we are. Regarding niche templates, I think we are currently having templates for real estate, for webinars, and for example, working on some e-commerce templates. But we are always expanding this, and we always want to add more. So yeah, if you have anything you miss, anything you'd like to see, you can always send us a message at support@converdy.com, and we'll make sure to add more templates in the niche that you are looking for. Regarding heat maps, we don't have it, and we don't plan on building it at the moment.
You can integrate external tools out, of course. Yeah, we do have Google Analytics integration as well as Facebook Conversion API, so that's pretty straightforward to set up.
Yeah, and we do have built-in analytics as well.
Okay, this is a compliment from Graham Mirror.
Thank you very much. We've put a lot of effort into it.
Okay, this is page view limit.
Yeah, it's very easy. If you reach your limits, we'll reach out to you and we'll just ask you to upgrade.
Yeah, and for LTD users, in terms of page views, there always will be like an LTD upgrade available as well. So it's it is a pretty. I think the limits on the deal we're currently running is pretty good. Especially if you look at the unlimited size. And I saw some questions coming in about that before. Basically, the way we count it is we talk about root domains which are connected. So you can connect one domain, which would be chris.com, for example, and you can connect 20 other subdomains, which wouldn't count as additional domains. So I could connect campaign.chris.com, leadgen.chris.com, agency.chris.com, onboarding.chris.com, and they all could contain different funnels with different pages, and it would still be one domain. Or if I want something completely else, and I just have a very, I'm running it for ads, for example, to test different things, I could also create it on the Converdy subdomain. So that would be, I could make something like mygymcampaign.converdy.online, and it doesn't count as a domain. So that's the reason why we say unlimited sites, because you can theoretically create as many sites on the Converdy or your own subdomains as you want to. Yeah. So the MR, that's a good question. It's always hard to give an exact estimate, of course, but we noticed that the group which daily logs in for software right now are mostly small or bigger lead gen agencies. So the focus is to focus on that, and I think for them it's a no-brainer in a way. If I see how intensively those users are using the product, as in like daily, and how much traffic they're running, I think we just have to find more of those users. And the world is big, and we've only seen a small part of it, or a small part only has seen us, I think. So we have no plans to. I mean, we do have email notifications which you can edit. So that's when an order is confirmed, and that kind of stuff. You can edit the templates. We have not necessarily plans to build a ManyChat or something inside Converdy, right? So, I mean, there are plenty of tools where you can have follow-ups. What we do is you can just either use a native integration or use a webhook, and then you can build out your flows for your SMS marketing in there, basically. It would be like as Klaviyo would be, or Shopify would be building Klaviyo, which is not our focus right now. Our focus is on becoming like first executing the first part, then the second part, and then maybe later the automations part. But for now, there are plenty of other tools for that, I think. This is a great question. It's a question we've got a lot during this LTD launch, which is not a weird thing to ask, and it's actually something we'll be releasing next week for this version of Converdy. Yeah, so you would be able to export your landing pages. Features have been built, and then you can download it and put it on any hosting like Netlify or whatever. Yeah. So basically the CRM, I suppose you mean, for example, HubSpot. That would be you submit a form here. We have a contacts thing ourselves where you can add notes as well. So if you're searching for a very basic version, you could do it in Converdy. But if you're searching for more functionality, then you basically pipe the lead through your CRM, and that would simply be done either, again, with a native integration or through webhooks with Zapier or Pabbly or Make. I think there are so many tools to forward stuff, right?
Okay, Chris, this question come to my mind. After we build the landing pages in Converdy, or maybe the funnel, can we actually connect it to our WordPress site, using a connector?
No, the answer is no, because I mean, you can definitely have your main site on WordPress and have landing pages on Converdy on subdomains, for example. But you can't necessarily, because we are a funnel builder, right? So you build multiple funnels on one domain, multiple sites. So it's not one page which you're building. So you can't, that's one reason. And the other reason is part of being able to deliver the speed we're delivering is because we make a custom build and we set it up on an edge network over the world and on the CDNs, and all of those benefits would basically disappear if you host it on WordPress. Technically, it wouldn't be too difficult, I guess, because you can also make an HTML export, but you would definitely lose most of the benefit of using Converdy. So it wouldn't make a lot of sense to host it yourself while you can also host it on subdomain, I would say.
Okay,
yeah,
that's a good answer. Okay, let's move on the next question. This one is Oh, they want to know your tech stack,
Yeah, which part of the product? Because we have a backend, front end. No, you wanna know the whole stack. Okay, so we have a Vue.js front end, which is a JavaScript library, JavaScript development framework. We have a Node.js backend, which is running our API servers. And then we have a few more front ends because we have we'll have a login portal for the affiliate system, which is also Vue. And I guess that the most important part of the stack to mention is the database, which is a NoSQL database, a document storage database. It's called MongoDB. So basically, our entire stack is object-based and JavaScript-based programming, basically.
Okay, thank you
Which
for
we
your
are.
answer. Can we use Converdy with our own HTML?
Yeah, the answer is no. We're not providing a hosting. Well, I mean, we are providing a hosting solution, but not for pages and funnels built on Converdy. So, I mean, we do have an option to enter custom HTML, right? So you can theoretically create a lot of custom HTML blocks and go wild there. It's also the way you can add custom forms if you don't want to use the native Converdy form, but you want to use a different form, you can definitely do so. It's just not very beneficial to basically copy your entire HTML in a Converdy page. You could do it, but it's not. Product's not made for that, so I wouldn't do it. But you can definitely use custom HTML to customize parts or add custom forms or integrations in your pages.
Yeah, the only benefit you would have is to use your CDN, but I would do that differently. I mean, there's a reason why we have our own structure behind our own data structure behind the pages that come out of Converdy, and that's because of that data structure and because of the way we process that data structure and build it to a site on our servers. That system is what makes Converdy so fast. If you would give us plain HTML and we would host it for you, it's still fast, but it's not as fast as the final output is that we create because it goes through this optimization backend that we've created.
Okay, this is a very specific personalization request.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm not familiar with Market Tailor, to be honest.
Me neither. But if it's if Market Tailor can work with webhooks, then it can work. If it's on Zapier, it can work. If it's on Pabbly, it can work in the future when we integrate with Pabbly. But for now, I cannot answer.
Yeah.
Okay, this question is for Razorpay because Razorpay is very popular in India.
Yeah, I love that question because when we started developing our checkout system, we realized that we had to build something that supports as many payment processors as possible. So although we don't support Razorpay today, we did build a system in which it's very flexible, and makes it relatively easy to add additional payment providers. So we haven't looked into implementing Razorpay yet, but we've seen it come around a few times, and I think this is the just another question about Razorpay, and we should have a good look at it.
Mm-hmm. Okay, I think we haven't touched on this SEO aspect, right?
Yeah, so SEO is actually pretty well covered. I would say more than well, because I mean we do generate the basic stuff, like you can set the different types of headings. But besides that, Google also appreciates page speed, right? So that one obviously ticks like the 100% box in terms of SEO. And apart from that, we have the structures in place, like we create sitemaps for your funnels if you want to. And we provide the option to provide open graph data, so you get like the social share images and stuff. So I think we do pretty good for SEO. I mean, if you want to have, I mean, it's not built for creating huge sites with a blog and stuff at the moment, at least. But if you are going to create small mini sites which have to rank, then I think this is one of the best options you can have, to be honest.
Okay, thank you. Yeah, now the more we answer, the more questions come out there, getting more difficult.
That's good.
funnels.
That's good. Keep them coming. Keep them coming. No, I need to answer it right now. We can't.
No, but I think
We're not
it's
simply
important
serving HTML. It's our own marker from which the builder is using as well. So there's no import feature at the moment.
Okay, so Prabhat Chandra was asking about Razorpay as well as InstaMojo,
Yeah, in terms of payment providers, I think Tim covered that pretty well. The system we built is extremely flexible in adding more payment providers. But before we add more, the checkout is currently in beta. There's a reason for that. There are a few things, especially the interaction with the checkout form itself and the way you add upsells and downsells, which I just showed you, which we want to improve. We're not going to make the same mistake here as we made in terms of templates. So I would say in this part, we first want to get the checkout out of beta the way it is right now, and then we're going to add the payment gateways. And the way the system has been built, it's extremely easy for us to add additional payment gateways. So it just doesn't make any sense to add them now because it first has to get out of beta. But after it's out of beta, it's definitely, we'll just make an upvote list basically on which payment integrations to add first, because it's really made to be working with different payment gateways.
Okay. ETA for e-commerce and affiliate system.
Yeah, that's a great question. So to answer the last part, yeah, it's absolutely included with on all plans, as also described on the page. And the EMAs, yeah, we're talking about details here. I mean, what I just showed you is not some kind of mock-up or Figma file. It's the actual product which is working. We are processing payments through the system. So yeah, that shouldn't definitely be. It's not years away. It's months away. Affiliate system, I would say a little bit further. First, obviously, we focus on the checkout, but the entire roadmap is also on the, or at least that part of the roadmap is on the LTD page as well.
Okay, I think we have answered most of the question, so because some of the questions are repeated. And also you explain it, so I mean, in case any question that is not answered, you can always go back to the Facebook group to answer them. And guys, I will just check whether we have any other question. The last question, please ask in the chat. We'll check, see whether any other question that not covered. Guys, if
yeah,
not,
no,
then
I was scrolling through the questions to see if we missed any, but
yeah,
looks,
I think there's the question if we support webhooks. We talked about webhooks a few times, and yeah, we do support webhooks. You can add as many webhooks as you want.
Okay. Yeah. Okay, that's good. So, Chris, can you show us the what they call the roadmap? Do you have the roadmap page? Is there, right?
Yeah, definitely. Yeah. Is my screen still sharing?
Yeah.
Yeah, so let's see. Long page alert. Yeah, there we are. Okay. Yeah, so basically we have the feature highlights here, which is of course the e-commerce. It's the main thing which changes it from a fast page builder and lead page generate system to an e-commerce system. One of the things is call to action bars. So basically sticky bars. We already have quite some options for the header, which I can show you right here if you want to have a quick overview of that. So for example, let's go to first the specific one I want to show. Yeah, for example, this one is pretty nice. So we already have like header options here where you can add menu items, and obviously the styling here is off. We can make it transparent on this page or on all pages, and this kind of stuff. You can make it sticky as well, including the top bar, which is currently turned off. Let's see where the top bar is. There it is. So this is pretty cool now, but we're trying to finish a system where you basically create bars which appears like on different triggers. So maybe after 200 pixels on mobile, and you can either swipe up to take that offer basically, or swipe it away. So that's the idea of call to action bars. I think that's pretty straightforward. And we have project collaboration. I just showed you a little bit of that. It's currently released as in beta, but I think it was released yesterday somewhere. So I can invite users here, and after I've invited them, oh, that's actually for the email group. Nice. I can make them an admin or a thing. So right now, Tim received an email, and maybe, I'm not sure if you're behind your, yeah, you are behind your computer, Tim. If you invited, then you could join me on this site.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, project collaboration is something we are actually already delivering now.
Yeah, so that has been already checked up there. Then we have some other things which are basically here as well. Translations is a thing that got asked a lot. We want to add additional pop-up triggers. And apart from what's on the roadmap, we obviously have way bigger plans, but we don't necessarily want to overpromise here. We also want to round the product further in terms of the low-hanging fruits, which we talked about before, which is actually highly valued by our current users as well. So more templates, more page templates, more different use cases which are easily to implement, which basically just makes it way faster to use the features which are available. Because right now it's a really cool tool set, but you still have to be a mechanic to use the tool set in a way. I'm over-exaggerating here because it's definitely user-friendly, but you will have to spend some time to get familiar with the system, and the more templates and stuff we can provide, the less you have to familiarize yourself with the actual toolkit. So we have a huge backlog of small things we want to change as well, and add more templates. But the big features are on this page here. Yeah.
Okay, thank you, Chris and Tim. And now we should go to this giveaway draw. And let me share my screen.
Personally, can't hear Albert anymore.
I can.
I think for other people, can other people still hear Albert?
I can.
Okay.
LTD to you. If not, we have to play again. Vijay Anand Krishnan Vasudevan. Are you there?
Yeah, he's there.
Yeah, he's there. We have to be very sure, because sometimes people are not there.
Oh,
Congratulations.
nice.
Okay. So you are the first winner. Let me remove your name. Okay, let's spin the second time for the second winner. Coleman. Luke Coleman, are you there? If you are there, just tap your name. Make sure that you are there.
Get excited about this giveaway. I wish I joined myself.
You can join other Facebook live with other founders. Let's spin. Look, Coleman, don't tap nice. Tap your name. Don't tap I'm here. Just tap your name. Okay. Yeah, this is Luke Coleman. Thank you. Congratulations. Sometimes you get excited and you don't remember your name. Okay, let's spin the third time. Oops, sorry. Okay, Michelle Christie. Are you there, Michelle? I think you are there. I'm not sure. If you are there, please type your name, Christy. If not, we will spin again, to get the new winner. Calling one, Michelle. Can somebody ping her? Nobody want to ping her.
Freeing up a lot of stuff.
Okay.
I'll take any prizes that are planned.
Yeah, no Bertie is pinging her. Okay, Michelle, Christy, calling two. So if you're not there, now we have no choice. We have to spin again. Okay, let's give her a few more seconds. Marshall, you are wanted. Okay, I think we should spin the next one to replace her. So, calling three. Sorry, Marcel. Let's remove your name. So, let's shuffle again. This is supposed to be the third winner. Muhammad Abdullah Al Yassin. Muhammad Abdullah, are you there?
A lot of unclaimed prizes today.
No, sometimes people just go for toilet, or maybe we are doing something else, I mean, it happens, many times. People,
Yeah, it's
and
been
they
a
come
long
back.
haul, I can imagine.
Can somebody ping him, Muhammad Abdullah Al Yassin? So calling one. We have 55 people watching here, so I mean, it's so
55 people watching.
I mean, but then calling to Muhammad Abdullah. So guys, sometimes you have been here for long, so just watch until you finish. I mean, until the webinar finish, Okay, so we have waited long enough. Muhammad Abdullah, sorry for not being here. We will spin the next one. Okay, let's shuffle. Faiz Musa. Faiz Musa, are you there? This is supposed to be the third winner. Luckily, unlucky. Yeah, Faiz Musa, I saw your name. You are there. Congratulations, Faiz Musa, you're the third winner. Let's spin the last two names now. Let's go. Philip Brown. I have a feeling he's not here. Philip Brown. Yes. Can you type your name? You type a yes, I think so. I'm not sure whether you are the guy, because you didn't give permission to this web video to show your name and a photo. Can Philip Brown type your name?
How many winners do we have left, Albert?
Let me see. No, he's not there. I mean,
Spin again.
I'm not sure this guy is him, because I'm not sure because
Yeah, I mean we can check the Facebook Live post. I guess there we can see if it's actually Philip who's commenting, right? Let me see if I can see that from there. Also, we didn't set this up, but I just discussed with Tim who's commenting, right? Let me see if I can see that. I just discussed with Tim.
I saw his name in the Facebook chat, so it's him. So please type your name and also give permission to this
this was my
video to show your name.
I went through it.
Okay, congratulations, Philip Brown. So it's important, guys. If you don't give permission, you're gonna have a hard time, to identify who you are. Okay, so the last winner will be here. Let me shuffle.
Albert, before you go, I have I just texted with Tim, and we actually really enjoyed this call, and we want to give the Download Silo members, if you didn't win the wheel of names, a chance to get an additional discount. It's only going to be valid for let's do an hour from now. So it's let's literally do an hour from now. It will be 20% off on all plans. I will post the link in the live chat on Facebook. It's gonna be valid for just 1 hour, guys. So I mean, we do have a refund policy and everything. If you're on the fence, I would say this would be your best opportunity to make the call and take the jump. I just posted it in Facebook.
Okay, please post that in the group later. Oh, this is the one, right?
Yeah, I just shared it.
Now let's see who's the final winner.
Okay, so the coupon is download Silo Love. Download Silo Live. Sorry.
It's
Right?
going to be valid for just 1 hour.
Okay.
We usually
Okay.
don't do extra discounts, but I enjoy this wheel, to be honest, myself. So I think it's pretty cool.
Okay, so this is extra 20%.
Definitely,
Okay,
yeah.
guys, I will spin the last name, and this should be the last winner of this Facebook Live. Okay, guys, let's do it. Manpreet Singh, are you there, Manpreet? He might have left. Oh, he's there. Okay, congratulations,
Yes.
Manpreet.
Congrats.
Okay,
Awesome.
guys, we have conclude all this. Let me. Okay, so these are the names. These are the name. Vijay Anand, Luke Koman, Faiz Musa. No, Faiz Musa, correct. Philip Brown and also Manpreet Singh. So I will copy this name and make it in my record. Hold on, before I forget.
Yes, congratulations to all
The
all
winners. Yeah, Chris, what do you want to say? Please continue.
No, I just wanted to congratulate them, and it's great.
Okay, guys, thank you for coming. And we are here towards the end of this webinar. And for those who did not win, please, you can actually buy it, using our link here and also using the coupon, So, and before we go, I would like to say thank you to those who are attending this webinar. And we have actually witnessed how this Converdy actually being a demo by by these two gentlemen, the founders, Tim and also Chris. And I believe they are actually very sincere, and they are also putting a lot of hard work, So because now is the best time, to see whether you need this, if you need this, put some faith in their in their what they call demo, and I believe it will actually become good, in no time. So thank you, guys. And Tim and Chris, do you have anything to say to the audience?
No, I appreciated everyone who watched the live call. I'm surprised by how many people joined. Pleasantly surprised. I really enjoyed the giveaway part. Make sure to, I think, contact Albert, and then if we have your email addresses, we will set you guys up with the accounts. Apart from that, I posted a few times the comments, but there are a lot of comments. So for like the next hour, we will keep the discount code online. Maybe Albert, you can add it to the main message, or maybe show it right now in the screen for people, because it's 20% off, right? So it's quite nice, I think. And I thank you all for watching.
And great questions. And we'll see if we still answer some questions that are left.
Yeah.
Okay. So guys, good night. I mean, in my time zone, and good morning in the West. And okay, guys, see you around, and thank you for coming, especially the founders. Bye-bye.
Thank you, Albert. Bye-bye.